Now, if you guys are in need of a fourth stimulus check, new financial relief is on its way. Some economists and lawmakers are considering monthly $2,000 stimulus payments for low-income households. This, everybody, is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report, and we have a ton of news to cover in today's video. So be sure to subscribe and give this video a like.
Bigger reconciliation bill. This is what Nancy Pelosi has said about all of this.
Let me be really clear on this. We will not take up a bill in the House until the Senate passes the bipartisan bill and a reconciliation bill.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics released the United States unemployment data for June, which may impact how President Biden chooses to negotiate the next stage of the country's economic recovery. During his first 6 months in the White House, President Biden has looked to pursue a more ambitious agenda than some were expecting. His willingness to spend was clear, even before he entered the office, when he first unveiled his American Rescue Plan in early January. The $1.9 trillion relief package included a round of $1,400 checks, an expanded child tax credit, and an extension to additional unemployment benefits. At that time, the U.S. unemployment rate was at 6.3%, an improvement on the 6.7% rate seen in both November and December. By the time the package was signed into law, in March, the unemployment rate had dropped to 6%, only slightly higher than a 5.9% reported in the new report.
Includes Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, and we know that they've been flip-flops in the past, and so this is a game of margins, and the president knows the Senate well. He spent most of his career in the Senate, and so he has to figure out over the next 6 months how many senators he can get on his side and how many House members as well will absolutely, take a hold of this agenda and vote it so that the American people can get back to work and get back to business.
Currently, the unemployment rate is in a similar position as it was then, so Congress may be considering plans to introduce a new wave of stimulus spending. In April and May, the months following the distribution of the third round of stimulus checks, the U.S. enjoyed a boom in consumer spending, which may have helped fuel a resurgence in the job market. However, 1 in 3 people surveyed at the time said that the support would last them less than 3 months, less than a month, leading to calls for another round of direct payments. Throughout the crisis, many experts have suggested that more support is needed to assist the recovery effort. A group of over 150 top economists, including Jason Furman, former economist for the Obama White House, signed a letter calling for recurring direct stimulus payments lasting until the economy recovers. Millions of Americans who could use another boost of economic assistance to get through the waning days of the crisis are demanding for a fourth stimulus check. House Speaker Pelosi and other congressional leaders definitely agree with more stimulus money for Americans. A fourth stimulus check would help people pay rent, buy food, and reduce their debt. But right now, there's other financial relief that you can receive. Beginning July 15th, millions of households can receive 6 months of family stimulus checks through a temporary expansion of the child tax credit. Payments of up to $300 per child will continue through the end of the year. Struggling renters can claim a share of more than $46 billion available under the government's Crisis Rental Assistance Program. If you have fallen behind on rent, you can apply for more than a year's worth of assistance, including for future rent and payments. In addition, homeowners can tap into a $10 billion mortgage, a mortgage aid fund created under the Crisis Rescue Package that President Biden signed in March. A minimum of $15 million has been allocated for each state, Puerto Rico, and DC. And then, as of July 1st, free health insurance being offered via healthcare.gov to Americans who have received or been approved for unemployment benefits this year. If you qualify, you can get a middle of the pack Silver Health Plan with $0 premiums that will offer coverage through the end of 2021. The Biden-Harris administration is focused on providing relief to millions of families who need to access health insurance coverage because they have been impacted by job losses or underemployment during the crisis. The administration has made it clear, easier than ever, for Americans to enroll in affordable, comprehensive health insurance plans. And almost 3 million people signed the change.org petition, seeking more direct payments for Americans. The petition is called $2,000 a month to every American, money for the people. The petition is directed at the House and Senate. Some Democrats in Congress have urged the Biden administration to push for a fourth round of payments, according to a blog post co-authored by Cecilia Rose. the chair of the White House's Council of Economic Advisors. By mid-April, folks, the total rate of food insufficiency in the United States dropped to 8%. So, folks, it is definitely important that Congress helps out the American people and sends out a fourth stimulus check.
Thank you for holding this hearing today, and Ranking Member Heitkamp. As we've all been discussing, we know there's a retirement crisis in this country, that across the board, wages are flat, fixed costs are going up, people can't save for retirement, pensions are disappearing, and that means more reliance than ever on Social Security. For almost 2/3 of seniors, Social Security makes up the majority of their income in retirement. And for 22 million Americans, Social Security is literally the only thing standing between them and poverty. When a parent dies or is incapacitated, grandparents often step up, and this can create a huge additional burden on the family for people who are already struggling because of the financial crisis. In these cases, Social Security is a double lifeline for both the grandparents and for the kids. Today, about 98% of children in America are eligible for survivor's benefits when a working parent dies. So I want to ask you about this, Senator Conrad. You are the principal author of the Bipartisan Policy Center's report on retirement security, and in the report, you propose several expansions of Social Security for low-income seniors. But you also propose expanding Social Security survivors' benefits, something not many people have talked about from this report. Can you tell us a little bit about why the survivors program, how it currently works, and what your proposed expansion would entail?
Well, if we remember our history, until 1981, we had a survivor's benefit in Social Security for kids who stayed in college until they were 22. If they were in an approved college, they would continue to get benefits. This also applied to those who qualified for disability. And this made a major difference to thousands, tens of thousands.
We'll wish everybody a happy 4th of July. I want to thank the mayor for hosting us here at the county EOC. Also want to thank Wilton Simpson and Chris Sprouse, our legislative leaders in the House and Senate, for coming. We are going to be able to take them to the site later today to be able to see that, and they've been very helpful in supporting everything the state's doing. We are, of course, continuing to monitor Tropical Storm Elsa. It's located just north of Jamaica with a maximum sustained winds of 65 miles per hour. It is heading towards Cuba. It will cross Cuba and end up approaching Florida, likely sometime Monday afternoon or evening. Tropical storm watches are in effect for parts of the Florida Keys.